How long do you think it would take to fill this whole grid with 10,000 people? Half an hour? An hour? 2 hours? Well, all of that is going to be discovered today, so stay tuned and you will not be disappointed. Okay guys, here we go. This is our starting tile that we are all given when we start off in Cities Skylines 2, which consists of 3x3 small tiles. I'm ready, so you guys better be, and let's go. And the timer's going to start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, first things first, we're going to want to take a look at the wind direction. So wind is coming down this way, so industry is going to be down here. We're going to then have our sort of commercial here, low rent housing here, and then we start to get to some nice areas up along here. So what we are going to do first thing, before we do anything, is actually create a 6-lane road here. We're going to bring our highways along here to connect, and we are going to send this massive 6-lane road literally directly through the entire center of our map. We're going to bring it along here, flush with our borders, making the most of every last zoning block we have. And we are going to do the exact same here and bring this road down. Okay, first things first, industry. Our wind is going in this direction, so we are going to have ourselves a pretty hefty industry, considering we're going to have a big population by the end of this, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we're going to bring these roads directly along here. We're going to do the exact same along here, making sure we get ourselves as much industry as possible. Also going to bring down some alleyways every interval or so, just to make sure our traffic flow is nice and smooth and we don't get into any form of trouble with traffic, because that is just going to slow our progression down massively. We're going to connect up these industrial roads as much as we can, as quickly as we can as well. Regarding power, wind speed is really high, so we are going to drop a load of wind turbines along our industrial area here, making sure not to overflow out of our game zone here. And I think once all of these wind turbines have been placed, we are not going to have any issues with power, because this is pretty overpowered. Okay, there we go. Wind turbines completely connected up. Right, industry's done, onto commercial now. We're going to have ourselves another big road that comes along here. And this is where our low density commercial is going to come into play. In fact, I'm going to zone it all in now, because despite us not having any houses available here yet, I think we're still going to have things start to zone in, which we are, which is amazing. We're going to make sure our industry literally goes as close to our borders as possible to maximize the number of factories we can have. And I nearly literally just forgot completely about waste management, so we're actually going to have to completely redo this, removing a few of these streets here. Considering we don't actually have the ability to put a sewage outlet in, we're going to have to use a sewage treatment plant, which is not ideal, but that is our only solution. So here we go. We are also going to need very desperately some kind of waste management. We're also going to get ourselves a recycling center, upgrade it with a garbage truck depot, stick a few of these in for hazardous waste, and let's also extend our capacity a little bit. Okay, perfect. At least that is out of the way. Considering these are all still fairly industrial style buildings, we are actually going to play around a little bit with our zoning and actually extend our industrial area along here a bit, just to this point here. And then the rest until this block here is going to be filled with pure commercial. We're then going to actually have to start considering housing. So considering our pretty big industry and low density commercial we have, I think it would be wise for us to zone in a pretty decent amount of low rent housing. It's all high density, and that's going to bring us loads and loads of people. They all seem to be complaining about lack of water though. We have got some beautiful water deposits here, so we're actually going to use up this entire space to put as many water towers as necessary, and that should help. They also are complaining here about a massive lack of labor, which is completely understandable. We're actually now going to draw out another road here, another here, and a few more here as well. We're going to reserve this section here for high density housing. However, we're going to get ourselves some North American medium density here, which is already exploding in growth, and we are going to actually bring ourselves another whole block for that. We're then going to change the direction of our zoning here, creating ourselves some beautiful grids for some low density housing, because we have got some very high demand for that right now, which we're going to stretch out here. We also have got some demand for offices, so I'm actually going to make the most of what I planned here. I left things a little empty here so we could put in a few offices lining this entire street, and we're going to bring them down here as well. Stuff like education is an absolute must, and we're going to make sure that we facilitate it for our city. So we're going to get ourselves a city elementary school. upgrade it with extension floors, and why don't we go for a courtyard playground as well to make those kids a little happier. We'll go for a city high school, once again with all of our upgrades like an extension floor and some tennis courts on the top floor, which looks epic. Wow. Man, I want to go to this school. That's so cool. I would not mind going to that school. We're going to bring some roads. We're then going to bring some roads along here and think about the next stages of education, such as college. We're going to stick a college here as well, purely for the fact that this will hopefully encourage high-density office space to be desired, which will be a great thing for us. At the end of this road, on this corner, we are also going to make things very accessible for healthcare. So we're going to have a hospital here and add in all of the necessary upgrades to make it as efficient as possible. We're going to chuck in a road here and also place in a city police station right along here. And whilst we're at it, how about we go for a firehouse? The fire station, unfortunately, is just way too big, especially after we sacrifice so much space for waste disposal. So we're going to stick a firehouse on this road here, which actually seems like it's going to serve the entire grid pretty happily, nicely in our industrial area. Oh, death care. I always forget that one. So we're going to get ourselves a cemetery as well. We're going to put it behind our hospital. I actually asked you guys on Reddit a few days ago where you would put your cemeteries, and you're all saying by the hospital because of like ease of access for the people that die in the hospital, which I think is a little bit negative, but I guess that's kind of reality to an extent. And we'll also stick in a crematorium to cater for other people's wishes as well. Whilst we're at it, how about we fill this little area here with a few small parks that will hopefully make our area more desirable to live in. And we're also going to grab the large plaza and add 2 of them either side here, which actually very conveniently fit in, which will hopefully help increase the happiness of our areas as well. All of this commercial isn't actually zoning in, and we haven't got any high density, so I'm going to replace this area here with high density commercial. And it really seems like it's just low density housing that people want at the moment. So we're going to draw out some roads here, and we are once again going to absolutely blanket this whole area in low density residential, which they are lapping up like mad. And I'll be honest with you guys, looking at the immense increase in population we're getting from our low density, which is where we have our demand, if we get another surge in low density demand, I might actually sacrifice a few of our other plots here and just add in low density, because if that's going to win us the challenge here, then that's going to win us the challenge. We're going to try and increase happiness here by adding in a pretty hefty post office and adding mailboxes left, right, and center everywhere that it makes sense to have them in. We're going to do the exact same with a telecom tower to keep people happy, and our population is finally starting to boom. Low density residential is once again popping up, so we are going to do what I said before, and we're going to dezone this entire area here, and we're just going to fill it with low density residential, because if that's what the people want, then that is what they're going to get. And in the process, helps me out a lot as well, because, well, we're getting closer to that 10,000 mark. All of these industries are complaining about lack of labor, so hopefully that means when we get ourselves more residential demand, we're going to get people zoning in, but they're not going to be complaining about lack of work because they've got so much work down here. And wow, I'm not surprised there is such a traffic jam to enter. I mean, we're getting literally thousands of people enter our city in a very relatively short period of time. But I think we've got all the facilities we need to have a successful city. I mean, there don't seem to be many complaints apart from, well, lack of labor, but that will only be resolved by adding more residential in, which is currently starting to get more in demand. So we're actually going to get rid of this whole area here and get ourselves some more low density housing. I am really surprised that there's not more medium and high density demand, especially considering we've got such good facilities. I mean, not only do we have an amazing high school and an elementary school, but we've got a college across the road, for God's sake. I mean, surely that's going to attract some high rollers. We've got amazing healthcare, absolutely overpowered water supplies, and the same can be said for our immense electricity production as well. Demand for low density residential is coming back up again, so we are actually going to dezone this whole area here and chuck in some more low density residential anywhere that currently doesn't have anything being constructed in. And wow, they literally are spawning like wildfire, which is amazing. In fact, this whole area here, we are going to say goodbye to medium density and put nothing but low density housing here. And we're very excitingly getting close to our 5,000 mark, which is awesome. Maybe I'm getting a bit complacent here, but I feel like we could add in some additional services considering how quickly our population is booming. So how about we add in an American football field? A couple of basketball centers never harmed anyone, and maybe a community pool as well. This will surely make people want to move in even more now. Our low density demand is once again shooting absolutely through the roof, so we're going to fill this entire block in with residential, and we're going to do the same over here as well. I kind of wished now that I knew that was going to happen, because if that was the case, I would have literally committed maybe 2 or 3 small blocks for our medium and high density, and the rest would have just been absolutely flattened with low density residential, because as things are now, it looks a little bit weird how we've just got random medium density amongst our low density as well. But I guess we could not have preempted this. Still with more and more and more low density demand, so we're going to replace this whole area here. And this area, you know what, we are actually going to sacrifice all of this commercial area as well for residential. A lot of these high density commercial plots are actually complaining about not having enough customers, I think. So we're gonna reduce the amount of commercial that can zone in here. And to be fair, they're kind of doing the job for me when they blooming de-zone when I change the zoning one tile away, even though it doesn't affect them in the slightest. And we are very comfortably gone beyond our 5,000 population mark now, which is amazing. What's that? No office demand here? Not a problem. As well as us speedrunning this, guys, it seems like we've got decent efficiency in our city as well. I mean, regarding traffic, apart from the entrance, things are looking really good. Oops, that was road condition. Okay, fair enough. Even traffic, though, I mean, there's nothing that's actually red, which is good. Energy supply is amazing. Water supply is nominal. We've got fantastic healthcare availability. Garbage management is through the roof. Same could be said for fire and rescue and police. And once again, with our low density demand, I'm going to bring out my secret weapon now, which are these borders that I think are going to absolutely change the game now. Wow, just look at that. Instant spawning in all of these areas. That is so cool. We've got ourselves amazing education. We've actually not got enough people for our high school. So we're going to stick in a downtown city high school here. Low density demand, once again, absolutely shooting through the roof. So we're going to bring some more, literally kissing our industry here. Hopefully we're not going to get any complaints about pollution. And medium density is now coming up. So we're actually going to get ourselves some row housing, and we're going to put it all the way along here. Our citizens overall seem to be pretty happy, which is also amazing considering this is a speed run and I'm not massively considering things like happiness. We actually don't have that much low medium density demand, so we're going to convert all of this to low density. And the last few plots of commercial where nothing's zoned in, I am going to replace with low density housing to try and speed this up a little bit more. You know what, guys, considering all of this high density commercial space is actually complaining about lack of customers, we're gonna put some more residential in here and see what is built. And wow, I truly am amazed how happy our community is, considering I'm doing a speed run on this, right? I've literally just put a bog standard grid in, done a bit of hit and miss zoning here and there. However, I have probably created the happiest city I have ever made compared to the ones that I try to make more realistically. I guess that kind of makes sense because in the real world, unless you're in some like super gridded area in America, you're never going to have a city literally this perfect. But it's so true, isn't it? That like the beauty in playing this game in many ways is actually the inefficiencies. I mean, I love making grids like this, and these challenges are so much fun. But there is also something fun about building a city that just doesn't make sense, with winding roads and inefficiencies here and there, because it just adds to the realism. I see an empty spot here, not for long, and we're going to do the same in all of these areas as well, where we're not seeing any zoning happen, to try and get us to that 10,000 mark as quickly as we possibly can now. Now comes the high density housing when we literally have nowhere to put them. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this small cemetery here, and we're going to try and put in some high density housing here and see what actually gets constructed. Wow, that is a tall crane. Considering how few people are using our college, we're actually going to get rid of it as well. Building ourselves some high density housing here, followed by a medium density block. I'm so annoyed that this zone doesn't actually have anything in, because we can't put any residential here because they're just not wanting to zone in because it's too close to our industry. So maybe if we just fill this with offices, I mean, at least it's going to give people jobs, I guess, and maybe in turn it would actually encourage people to move in a little bit quicker. Okay, guys, we are getting close to our final 1,000 people we need to get. The clock is ticking. Let's try and do this as quickly as we can now. I am actually resorting to everything now. I'm driving myself crazy, committing to this immense infrastructural project here, just to hope that we can put in some high density housing here, which we've been able to do. Getting close to that 9,500 mark now. It seems like high density doesn't actually care that much about being nearby industry, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if medium density are that picky as well. No, they seem to be pretty happy actually, which is cool. And apart from a few traffic jams here and there don't seem to be any complaints, generally speaking, which is pretty good. Oh, nice. And just as we get a few more skyscrapers spawning in here, we hit 9,800 population. We're going up by 200 an hour. We should be hitting 10,000 anytime soon now. Only 100 people to go now, and this is going up very, very quickly. And just like that, guys, we get to 10,000 population in, from my perspective at least, not that much time. Man, that was stressful. I did not know Cities Skylines 2 could be that stressful of a game. Wow, that was so much fun. That actually was so much fun. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think we did a pretty good job. We got some huge skyscrapers right at the end when we replaced our college with them. We have an immense suburban sprawl here with a few medium density houses lining this main road here, alongside all the facilities you'd ever want, including an American football stadium. And if one dog park wasn't enough, then we have got 5 over here, and an industrial zone that from this perspective looks like it goes on for absolute forever. But I'm seriously happy with this, guys. We got to 10,000 population in a pretty good time from my perspective. And it really just shows me that if I wanted to make my life so much easier in this game, rather than trying to build realistic with all my winding roads and inefficiencies, all you need to do is literally make a grid, industry on one side, residential on another side with some commercial in the middle, and you'll literally get the happiest population you will ever find yourself with. But there we go, guys. With our city hitting that 10,000 population mark, we have succeeded, and I had so very much fun with this. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any more ideas with other challenges that you want me to do, then let me know in the comments below. I'm always completely up for new exciting videos, and I really and truly do read every single one of the comments that you give. So do not hesitate. Anything to do with Cities Skylines 2 or any game for that matter, put in the comments below if you want to see me play it, and I will most definitely get back to you. If you want to see more of my Cities Skylines 2 content, then make sure you subscribe. And if you did enjoy the video today, then please do hit a like, because it makes a world of difference to my channel, and I will be forever thankful. And until next time, our 10,000 population city says goodbye to you, and I will see you all very, very soon.